Terraform tests validate code behavior by defining expectations about infrastructure and automatically checking if they are met. Tests are written in the same language as Terraform code, making them easy to run and use. They can be run locally or as part of a continuous integration pipeline. Terraform creates an ephemeral infrastructure for tests by using a separate workflow that is independent of the plan or applied workflow, so tests don't change any state files. This workflow creates temporary resources that are used to test the code, and once the tests are completed, the ephemeral infrastructure is destroyed. This ensures that the tests do not affect the existing infrastructure. This is the Terraform configuration file that we're going to test, where in the first block, we set what is going to be the provider. In our case, it will be AWS, and this is the version. And within the same block, we are also defining the required version for Terraform that needs to be higher or equals to 1.10. In the next block, we define the provider, some provider settings, such as the region where the EC2 instance will be deployed. And in the last block, we define the actual EC2 instance, where we assign what's going to be the image, the instance type, and the instance name. Okay, and here we are assigning some variables, such as the AWS region, the image, the type, the instance type, and the instance name. And these variables are defined within this file. So we're going to use these variables to create our test. And to create it, we need to create a new folder. It's going to be tests. And I'm going to add a new file there that is going to be website.tftest.hcl. To define the test, we need to enter the keyword run and the name of the test. In our case, we'll be testing the creation of the EC2 instance, so I'm going to name it create EC2 instance. In the first block, I'm going to create some variables, so I'm going to use the keyword variables there, and I'm going to basically include all the variables that we defined here. Okay, now that I define all the variables, the instance image, the instance type, the instance name, and the region where the ephemeral infrastructure will be created, I can start adding some assertions. Basically, I'm going to add an assertion to check that the instance type is the one that we expect, and the same for the instance name and for the instance image. So to create an assertion, we need to use the keyword assert. So this will be assert. And here we need to define two things, the condition and an error message in case the condition is not met. So condition, and we need to access the instance properties, and we need to use the path that we have defined here, AWS instance.web server. So this will be AWS underscore instance dot AWS underscore server. And here we can access the properties. Sorry, this is web server. And here we can access different properties. So we can start checking the instance type. So there will be .instance type. And we compare that with the value that we define the variables. So this will be var.instance type. And in case the condition is not met, we can say here that we have an invalid instance type. So that will be the message, invalid instance type. Okay, and I'm going to add a couple of other assertions to validate the image and to validate the instance name. So I'm going to paste those here. Okay, on the left-hand side, we have Visual Studio Code, where I'm going to run the tests. And on the right-hand side, we have the AWS console, where we're going to see how the instances are created and destroyed once the test is complete. So I'm going to run Terraform test. And on the right-hand side, we're going to see how the instance is created. As you can see here, the instance is created with the name we assigned, the instance type, and it's created in the Sao Paulo region. So as we can see here, the test run and passed. And now it's going to tear down the instance. And here we're going to keep refreshing until the instance is terminated. And the test is going to finish as well. Okay, the instance is terminated and the test has finished successfully. And that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.